Hello, my name is Raffi Wiratama from Sustainability Executive MBA Class Batch 4. I'd like to begin by framing the central role of carbon pricing in today's climate and economic landscape. Carbon pricing, through carbon taxes and emissions trading system, is designed to make polluters pay for the damage caused by their emission. This concept is grounded in Pigu's economic theory of externalities, where pollution needs a corrective price, and Nordhaus' idea of the social cost of carbon, which estimates the economic damage caused by each ton of CO2. In short, carbon pricing sends a market signal to polluters it's no longer free to emit. This incentivizes cleaner technologies and green investment. And, as the IMF warned in 2021, delaying this policy risks both climate failure and massive financial costs. That's why we say carbon pricing is the foundation of the net zero transition. Different countries apply carbon pricing in ways that reflect their political system and institutional capacities. The European Union uses a cap and trade emission trading system, which covers 40% of total emission and includes strong reforms like the Market Stability Reserve and the newly introduced Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism or CBAM. Different in United States. The United States, on the other hand, has no federal carbon pricing. Instead, state-level systems like California's and the RGGI in the Northeast provide patchy and uneven coverage. Meanwhile, in China has launched the world's largest ETS, but it's intensity-based, meaning emission can rise with output, offering flexibility but less certainty. What we see here is that there's no one size fits at all. Each system adapts to the country's own economic and political realities. Now let's talk about trade. The EU CBAM, introduced in phases from 2023 to 2026, imposes carbon costs on imported goods like steel, cement, and fertilizers. This helps prevent carbon leakage where companies shift production to countries with looser climate laws. However, CBAM raises concerns under WTO rules, especially for developing countries like Indonesia. The risk is that our exporters could face extra costs without the benefit of comparable carbon pricing at home. That's why many scholars advocate for a global fair design for border carbon adjustment to protect the domestic producer and support developing nations in their climate journey. Simply put, carbon border taxes are changing how we define trade competitiveness. Turning to Indonesia, our carbon pricing framework is grounded in Law 7/2021 with the NEK platform that includes a carbon tax and ETS and result-based payment. The The ETS began with coal power plant and covers 9.6% of national greenhouse gases. Using an intensity-based benchmark, however, our carbon tax has been delayed until 2025 and is priced at just around $2 per ton, far too low to drive real change. Several gaps remain. The forestry sector is not included. Our MRV systems are weak. Carbon accounting rules are unclear, and fossil fuel subsidies continue to undermine carbon pricing signals. If we don't close these policy gaps, Indonesia risks falling behind both environmentally and economically. So, what should Indonesia do? First, align our domestic carbon pricing with international standards. This is key to protecting our export market under CBAM. Second, integrate the forestry sector, raise the carbon tax to meaningful levels, and expand ETS coverage beyond just coal plant. Third, we must invest in institutional capacity, especially in MRV and carbon accounting. Finally, we should play a leading role in the Article 6 carbon market under the Paris Agreement and in Asian regional cooperation. The bigger picture is this: carbon pricing isn't just a compliance tool, it's a strategic lever for green diplomacy, industrial policy, and just transition. Thank you for your attention. Once again, I'm Raffi Uratama from the Sustainability Executive MBA at SBM ITB.